How's it going, everyone? It's Riley's Redzone, and welcome to another edition of Weekly NFL Picks. Excited this week. Katelyn's here in person as a guest picker. Welcome in.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, looking forward to what this one will be. Starting with last week, we're going to quick break down what happened. I went 8-5, 60%. That's been about my average this season, but every single guest picker we had last week, 3 of them, all did better than I did. Sam went 10-3, Max went 9-4, and Foreman went 9-4. So the standings in the top corner there will be represented. It's still Danny is at top 12-2, and Braden with 13-3 went pretty well. So that brings us to this week where we just are going to jump right in to the game. Starting with what is tonight between the Rams and the 49ers. Both teams are pretty interesting here. The 49ers are banged up, but last week they had a huge win over the Bears. Meanwhile, the Rams also had a huge win over the Bills, which the Bills are a good team. I think that's going to drain them down emotionally, so I have the Niners in a bounce back in this one. Who do you think wins this game?
I'm going Rams.
Okay, so we start with split off the back. The Rams pick in an upset to begin the series here. And then the Commanders and the Saints. Saints made a change at coach a few weeks ago, but now their quarterback is out for what might be the rest of the season with Derek Carr. The Commanders, a lot of people in the area here, fans of them. Jaden Daniels has been really good off of a bye. I like Washington in this game.
I'm going Commanders, too.
Okay, so both going Commanders there. The Chiefs and the Browns. The Chiefs, with all that they are, have been said that they're lucky this season, but they are winning a lot of games. They've been pretty impressive. Meanwhile, the Browns, our guy Cody, fan of them, they've just been inconsistent as heck out there. I'm going to go with the Chiefs in this one.
I think you got to go Chiefs this one.
Yeah, so we're sweeping that one. Bengals, Titans, Brian Callahan revenge game as a coach for the Titans, but the Bengals story all year. They put up a ton of points, but their defense can't stop that peanut butter and jelly sandwich for anything getting in the end zone. But this is the exact type of game the Titans could win to me when they don't win many of them, but I'm going to stick with the Bengals.
I'm going Bengals, too.
Bengals as well. Then the Dolphins and the Texans. I don't know what's going on with the Texans. On paper, they should have been really, really good this year, and it's just a little lackluster. But the Dolphins are okay when they're not in the cold weather of Green Bay. So they're both pretty solid, but I like Houston to be a bounce back here with C.J. Stroud.
I'm going to go with Texans as well.
Texans also. Then the Ravens and the Giants. I know you like your Giants, but
I
can't lie, is maybe one of the biggest spreads I've seen. 16-point favorites are the Ravens. If this were picking spreads, I might keep an eye on the Giants, but I think I'm going to play it safe and pick the Ravens.
As much as I want to go with the Giants, I think I'm going to have to go
with the Ravens as well.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it's been a season for New York, and also been a season for the New York Jets and the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are next. All of the 3 of those teams are struggling, and so the Jets, I've talked about it before. They trick me almost every single week into picking them, and they usually let me down. But why not dive back into the pool? I'm going to take them over the Jaguars.
I'm going to go Jaguars.
Okay, so with Mac Jones at quarterback, we have Jacksonville. And then the Cowboys and the Panthers. Since Dak Prescott got hurt, they're just not the same. Bryce Young is looking good for the Panthers, and I'm shocked they're favorites at this point in the year, but I'll take Carolina.
I'm going to go Panthers, too.
Panthers as well. Buccaneers and Chargers. This might be my toughest game of the week to me. I think they're both kind of just slightly above mid. And so the question is who's going to win here. The Chargers, after just barely not beating the Chiefs, are really dicey here, but Tampa Bay has this swag with Baker Mayfield, and I'm going to take my first upset pick of the week so far in Buccaneers.
I think I'm going to go Chargers with this one.
Yeah, they've been a solid football team, no doubt about it. I think that could be one of the closest games this week. Colts and Broncos, horse teams facing off. Anthony Richardson is back for the Colts. He's looking okay. But the Broncos have been legit. Their defense is solid, and Bo Nix at quarterback. I like the Broncos in this one.
I'm going to go Colts.
Yeah, Colts with Indianapolis. And the Patriots Cardinals. I've been a huge Cardinals, not literal fan, but a supporter for the last year or so, thinking they're underrated. But they just are inconsistent at every week. And the Patriots, I've picked a couple times in the last few weeks to be upset, but they've let me down. I think they get it this week as 6-point underdogs. I'm going to take the Patriots.
All right, I'm going to go Cardinals.
Their defense has stepped up this year, which makes that interesting against a rookie quarterback for sure. Then the matchup of the week, I'd have to say on paper, these are 2 teams I have ranked as the top 2 teams in the league. I mean, that is pretty serious to have that on there. With the Bills and the Lions. The Lions are so good, but can they keep going? The Bills are also really good, but can they keep going? That's the true question. But the Bills, after barely losing against the Rams last week. I think Josh Allen's going to have something to say about it, and I'm going to think the Bills bounce back with the upset.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough matchup, but I'm going to pick Bills as well.
Yeah, the Buffalo there. The Steelers and the Eagles, another sneaky one. I think two teams that have more wins than on paper they maybe deserve, but Russell Wilson has looked solid for Pittsburgh. Meanwhile, the Eagles with Saquon Barkley, former Giant, as incredible as he's been this season, he's doing really well. I'm going to take Philadelphia.
Yeah, Eagles as well.
Yeah, that is.
As a Giants fan, not the best, but
yeah, he has gone off this year since leaving. But the Packers and the Seahawks, I like this matchup. Jordan Love with the Packers, the whole NFC North except the Bears has been legit this season. And the Seahawks defensively have really shown up. Geno Smith looks good on offense, but I like Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm picking Packers as well.
So Packers sweep, and here's that NFC North matchup: Bears-Vikings Monday night. As someone who knows the Vikings very well, this feels like a game that they could lose because they win games you think they shouldn't win, and they lose the ones you think you do. But I just have too much of a gap between the Vikings and the Bears. I'm gonna stick with the Vikings because I picked the Bears last week and they let me down. I'll take Minnesota.
I'm gonna switch it up and I'm gonna go Bears.
Okay, I mean it feels like it feels like a matchup that Chicago could pull off, no doubt about it. And then the Falcons and the Raiders to close it out. What is happening with Kirk Cousins? I don't know. He's gone 0 touchdowns, 8 interceptions over the last 4 weeks, but he's a veteran quarterback, so you gotta like that. He likes that on a regular basis. But Las Vegas, ultimate sneaky team. On paper, they're not very good. They have a third-string quarterback now, but I think there's just a little bit of guts to them. As a 4-point underdog, I'll take the Raiders in that one.
I think I'm going to go Falcons.
Yeah, that is a solid pick for sure if Kirk can bounce back. And quickly to end the video, we're going to recap the Fantasy League, which now we're in the playoffs, so this gets serious. There's going to be a top reward for first place and then a punishment for last place. Now we've finally solidified the standings and the matchup. So this week in the winner's bracket, it's me versus Zach and Max versus Carson. And then in the loser's bracket, playing is Braden versus Matthew and Nick versus Alex. Cody and Charlie received byes in the first round, so they were the best. They're the teams to beat right now in the league. And then as well, who did we leave out there? I think that would be Andrew and Danny are in the bye for the losers bracket, so you don't want to be there either. So that'll do it for this week's episode of Weekly NFL Picks. Appreciate you tuning in for this one, and have a good rest of your weekend watching football or whatever that schedule may entail, and we'll catch you in the next one.